as a former child star, was that odd going into, well, like, were you ever recognized by soldiers? And like, was there an interplay there?
You know, anybody over maybe 35 knows my history, but all the young guys,
Right.
you know, were 20, 22, they had no idea. They called me camera guy. Hey, camera guy. And I love that.
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, you were there 110 days, is that right? That is
Yeah.
an impressive amount of time to spend shooting a documentary. Oftentimes people will go in for a week and shoot what they can and then get out. What was the, you mentioned that there were a variety of different scenarios in which you found yourself, from downtown Kabul to going terrorist hunting. How much freedom did you have to go into different parts of where there were ongoing military operations happening?
We had a lot of freedom. You know, we had support from the highest levels to get access to, you know, show some of the things that we were going to show you in the fighting season, like the drone wars and stuff. But that doesn't mean that just because you have top cover, that means, you know, there's somebody that says you can go somewhere. Doesn't mean the ground force commander that you're embedding with, if he doesn't want you, you know, if that platoon leader or that company commander doesn't want you there, like you don't stay. So you have to actually get in with the troops. You have to eat with them, sleep with them, get shot at with them before they actually let you into their world. And once you get shot at with them, then their world opens up, because now you're kind of one of them.
Is there any way of predicting how a person who's there is going to react to something like that, be they in combat or a journalist?
Well, you don't know how you're going to react. So, you know, it's hard to predict how someone else will. That cameraman, River, was in the Navy. He deployed to Iraq as a cameraman too, so I knew he was going to perform well. Jake was also in the Army and had been in conflicts. I knew he was going to perform well. Myself and the other two cameramen had never been deployed to a conflict zone, so I really didn't know how any of the three of us would handle it at the time. And you know, I remember, you know, the day that I got in a gunfight, and you know, it was a high that lasted like 36 hours. It was just, you know, because the gunfight went on for several hours, and you couldn't sleep for a day and a half after it. You know, the scariest part of my day was, you know, we had to, after we just taken fire from 4 enemy fighting positions, about 800 meters in a green zone, because Afghanistan's arid, but there's these patches of green where they have water, and then the insurgents will typically move in these Kharez systems, which are tunnels underground where the water moves to the irrigated areas. And so we had just been engaged from that green zone, and we dropped 4 500-pound bombs, 3 500-pound bombs on them from a B-1 bomber, and the firing stopped once that happened.
You mean the guys on the ground call in air support?
Yeah, we called in air support and dropped bombs on the Taliban fighting positions, but then we had to cross that 800 meters of desert and go do a battle damage assessment, they call it, to see was in fact any Taliban left. And so I remember walking across the 800 meters, there's no cover, and I'm walking with this platoon, and you know, it was a harrowing experience.